We get into this morning's live. We've seen some very interesting movement in the markets. Once again, overnight, in the Eurozone, the Asian markets, they help to propel the markets up as the USA wakes up. But there's an obvious divergence here in one of the assets. And I think it's pretty obvious on the screen. It's one I've been talking about to everybody that I'm waiting when it was at 7.9 to buy back in and a larger stake to where I can have over six-figure tokens with. It's XDC. And today, it's down 6.2%. It was down about 7.2% a little while ago. And now the question is this an anomaly or is this leading the way? It's come back down to the support structure. We talked about 737 yesterday, which it's come down to today. And we've talked about below if it has to have a reset. And obviously, we're massively oversold in the 3-hourly and 4-hourly. But look at when you start looking at the daily. It's the same problem we had yesterday. We had it way overbought in the daily, which it needed a clear out at the very least. And now this looks horrible. The weekly came through the neutral area. So if that's the case and this breaks down, I mean, we could very well be looking at a 30% drop or 20% drop on top of what we've already seen. So that's one thing. And I simply put in the title, XRP warning, this isn't right. No volume. And this entire movement, we haven't had any surge of volume, and it's not right. You cannot continue to move up like this in a grand scale. We need a volume surge. That's it. If we can get one volume surge here, I'd be happy. But that daily's overbought like a son of a bitch. The 4-hourly, it moved up, but now it seems to be breaking back a little bit. But that was a nice clear out. So that's those are good signs. We like clear outs like this in this 4-hour candle because we've had a golden cross, which is the 20 moving through the 200. But we haven't had that bona fide back test at all of this pattern structure. Like, to have that consolidation since July 19th, consolidate through, you should back test this on the move out. Or get some kind of volume to confirm a straight shot out. But we have not had any volume. So I'm going to continue to repeat the narrative. Like, we need volume. I still feel like unless we can get out of here and get over 306 and ultimately 330 and at least hold that level, I still feel like this could be a fake out. And I'm going to keep my eyes. It's the same thing I said with XDC. The only difference right now with XDC is it actually did what I was saying when I felt like it was a fake out and it was going to come down to that 737 and possibly even worse down to that 4 or 5 area if this falls through. If the whole market needs a reset, we could get a, maybe not 4, 5, 7. I think it was 5.2 what I was talking about. Maybe it is that far because we're over. Fuck. See, these could get ugly. But it's just for us to move where we want to move right now. We need to get some volume. Like, we're at a state right now. If we could get some volume, like legitimately, if we could get some volume in the market, we could have a significant move. A substantial move. A historic move, some would say. But right now, it's not the case right now. It's just not the case. You know, it's just not the case. So right now, I just feel like we could have been given a gift seeing XDC do what it did early. You know, so maybe we'll be able to understand what comes next a little bit easier. Because everything's doing it. It's everything has done it. You've seen Ethereum earlier. It was getting closer to 4,000. What was it? Almost 4,500. And what did it do? From 4,448. And this could be a liquidity grab, so it knocks out all the long traders. But think about it. If you were a long trader, and this is why I always talk, don't leverage. Imagine you're leveraging Ethereum. Imagine you're down here. Hey, I'm feeling great. I bought at 4,421. I got a 10x trade. Or let's be honest, 20x trade because that's what people like to do. Or 35x is the most common, believe it or not. You're cooking. You're cooking. Right, we were somewhere, where did I say? Somewhere around here. Yeah. So you're up 1.2%. And all of a sudden, in a 1-minute candle, you go from being up 12, 18%. No. We're talking 20x, so that would be 30, 40%. To all of a sudden down 50% or 41%, 42% in a matter of a minute. So that's a liquidity grab. Now, is this a flag that form? Because this certainly should push up a little bit, at least how it is right now. And if we can have some clarity here and actually get some volume, you know, maybe we could have a resurgence here and just push up. I don't know. We're going to need a little bit to convince me of that, because right now Bitcoin's still on that outside of the rising wedge. It came perfect. I mean, we talked about, I'm not going to say yesterday, but this is a discussion we've had for a while. So if you're new, you'll just have to get into the flow eventually. It won't be easy, but you will. I do this every single day since March 24th of 2021, so I'm going to be here regardless. So 114,778 in real time. So we've come up into this area now. So, you know, this is where we had to go. This was the layer we had to go, first layer. And then if we're going to come past here, we could try to retest that rising wedge area with Bitcoin. But this is not an easy moment. Now, if you're in the Telegram, I have one other thing to say. So some of you know, if you click on the Telegram, like for me on here, see how it doesn't show community tab? I can't talk to my community. Workaround. Don't download it from Android. On my phone, I don't have it downloaded from the App Store. Download it from the APK package. It's restricted in some ways. I realize and I forgot. But on the Android or from the App Store, if you download it like that, Telegram's got restrictions based on their own rules and regulations. This is the APK. Not getting contact to shit. But... And then if you download the APK, see how I have Community Hub now? So I can see it on here. So what you have to do is go into the online, go to Telegram, but look at it like this. Go to, let me go back to where you first started. So you have to type in Telegram and look for the Telegram. Which one was it? Telegram for Android for mine. But you go to telegram.org. And then you do the one for the Android, and then you get the Telegram for the Android, for the mobile phone. So that'll end up allowing you to have full access. But we have a substantial opportunity here for a big breakout. Like, that's the thing. We need some volume, and if we get any kind of volume, any kind of positive press, anything that could push volume, we could have a significant surge right now. You know, it's just, if we don't get any volume, this is where you would start to see the reversal, unfortunately. You know, at some point here, so. But I love XRP's clear out. With the golden cross, clearing out like the looming golden cross. Well, it's not. Here, I'll show you what I mean. So in the 4 hourly, we've got the golden cross and we back tested. So the looming, what I mean is this 50 about, you know, if it comes through crosses the 200, that's a more confirmed push. The 20 cross and the 200 is a preliminary golden cross. It is a golden cross, but you really want to see that 50 come through the 200 to get some real validation there. That's when you can start to say, okay, I can take a breath because this might actually happen. Right now, we're in between. It's a nice pull down. And if we get some anything here, we could have a nice move here today. I'm serious. If anything comes in the positive right now, we could have a significant move. Anything. Like anything. It's just if we get the smallest whisk of a sell candle right now, it could implode. Because then you're going to get some leverage liquidity that starts to dump. We didn't quite hit that yet on some of the shorter leverage trades. We got some people just got wrecked though in 25, 30, 35, 50x. The higher leverage, they got hammered. And that's what the market did. It grabbed liquidity. But I'm not so sure that XDC just fell off on its own and it's going to be the only one that does that. I feel like it might be earlier than the rest. But I got to take this vitamin real quick. It's for glucose support. Helps your blood and things. It's got cayenne pepper in it. It's good for your liver. Remember, your blood is what pushes through your liver and it helps regenerate. It's one of the only organs. Well, I can't say that because I'm not a medical person, but this is for entertainment purposes only. And, you know, but anyhow. Cayenne pepper helps your blood flow good, and remember, your liver needs all this blood pushing through it to do, well, some could say the regeneration act, but you know, what do we know? Remember, Mother Earth provides. It's up to us to take from it instead of pharmaceuticals. Nobody says Mother Earth tastes great, though. Good morning. 9:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, September 11th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. What a day to be alive. So many things happening, good and bad. Obviously, today is the 24-year anniversary of when our government perpetrated an... Oh, I'm not going to get into it. When our towers fell. And 24 years later, the country's more divided than it's ever been. You've got people praising the Charlie Kirk shooting yesterday because he said there had to be casualties with gun on, blah, blah, blah. I mean, come on, have a soul. You know, I tried to explain it to my mom and everybody else. The reaction you get is, it was a Democrat. It was this, it was that. Oh, it was a wacko right. Listen, if we keep identifying everybody based on the left and the right, Charlie Kirk dies for nothing. Let's just understand the deeper meaning. The divide from left to right is why he's dead. Point blank. We should be able to have an honest discussion. We should be able to talk to each other. We do have the right to bear arms for a reason. And I know the reason all too well because my family lived it. That's why we're in America. My grandpa lived in Italy when Mussolini allowed the Nazis to come in and basically commandeer housing and his people. And because they didn't have the proper arms, guess what happened? So most of my family got killed out because of Nazi Germany coming in, which it wasn't just Germany, but just what everybody understands. They overtook the place that my family had. They had a market and yada, 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 so on and so forth. If you ever go to Italy, look for the Spica town. It's got a Spica courthouse, Spica market, Spica gas station, all the town's named after it, the road's named after it. Because part of our family who survived, they fought for this town and they won, and the Nazis weren't able to take it over, but we lost about 90% of the family. But, you know, anyhow, that's why you want to have the rights to bear arms. At the end of the day, Mussolini was hung by his own statue. Took my grandpa like 2 decades to get his whole family over here before he got over here. And now I'm second generation. But I know all too well, because I know the real history, because my family, what they went through. Which is why I got in trouble in school a lot, because I would get in trouble because I would read something in the book and be like, this isn't, you want me to bring my grandpa in here? He died in 2001, but I'd be like, you want me to bring my grandpa in here? And speak his broken English. And, you know, it's like, how am I supposed to believe what you guys are telling me when I know it's not? So anyhow, that's where we're at right now in society. Like, we all have to make a decision. Stop, at least in this community, dividing amongst, oh, I believe in the political right or left. They're all bullshit. The moment you start speaking that nonsense, you're already wrong. It drives me nuts. Drives me fucking nuts. Even in this community, it drives me nuts. And once I see somebody associate with one side or the other or complain about it, it's like, you're already fucking manipulated. They've already got you by the dick. You're already wrong. You're already pushed in the wrong hole. You may have wanted to go in a nice soft hole, but you went through a fucking grinder. Like, seriously. Somehow, someway, civilization allowed them to put a round hole into a square peg, and everybody believes that's how it goes. Sorry, that's not how it works. And now you see what happens when, oh my God, this guy believes this or that guy. You got a choice, guys. Literally. And guess what? With the emergence of AI and the emergence of robotics, what do you think comes next? So we all have a choice. So that's why I try to create unity here. And it's why I'm so stringent on positivity over negativity. We are not the victim. We never have been. We never will be. I can show you a victim. It's not us. I can show you a disabled person. It's not me. And I broke my back when I was 23. I may be disabled in ways that other people aren't, but I still have a brain. I still have arms and legs that work and the ability to move. More so now than 25 years ago, ironically. Or not 25, what was it, 2006? So 19 years ago. But it's all about how we do things. I've seen people with no arms and legs still working. It's the craziest thing. They're using their mouth to type on the screen and they're doing data entry and shit because they got a will. I think we have a will. That's why we come here every day. But I want the will to be, we're going to create a bigger, a fonder goodness. The overall, we're not abundance for I, it's abundance for all. We're not despised by our, oh my God, I'm Democrat or Republican, he's black, I'm white. No, that's all bullshit. I've never in my entire life, because I was called so many different names growing up because my family's from Italy, and obviously my other part of my family, which is only 25% of my heritage and my own blood, but is from Lebanon. So imagine how I looked growing up. I didn't look like a normal American kid. I still don't. I got very distinguished features. So I got made fun of a lot for it. But, you know, I know how it is. But now I see, you know, they just divide us through all this other nonsense. Hell, even look at crypto. Think about it. That guy likes XRP. Well, I like ADA. Well, I'm a fan of fucking XDC. Well, fuck all of them. I like fucking H-bar. And I like Bitcoin and all the Ethereum posses and all these other fucking losers. Who cares? I don't give a fuck if you like Poppy or H-bar. I don't give a rat's ass. Because we're all wrong. They all have the same utility in a way. Do they not all transfer money from point A to point B? Oh, well, XRP does it in a fraction of a second. Well, doesn't the other ones do it in a fraction? I mean, come on. That's all bullshit. That's what they do to push us all apart. How about we look at it in a unified way? Let's look at the utility tokens. XRP's moved as much as it is, so why do we fight each other so much and say, well, look at XDC down 6.2% again today, down to 7.3 cents, hasn't made close to the move. Not close. It's about, if you want to be honest, from where it started in November of 24, compared to XRP, because we're honest, we like to be honest here, we came up from 2.6 cents. So some are like, well, XDC hasn't moved yet. The hell it hasn't. It's still up 167%. Is that 600%, 700, 800% like XRP? No. And that's the point. It's still, after all these years, the short term is finally pushing out. The long term's no, it's not even close in that part. But the short term that's supposed to push us up, it did what it was supposed to do in the short term. But eventually, it's going to lead us out of here. But it's eventually. But I think there's a lot more opportunity there because I think no matter what, we should be able to get up to at least 36 cents. XRP, I can't say from here, hey, we should at least get to X amount. Because if I had to say that in comparison to XDC, if XDC is going from 7.3 all the way up to 36, we'll just call it 8 to 36. That's, let's see. I mean, you're talking about a 350% plus. I can't guarantee XRP is going up to 15 or 13 with this next move. I think it's borderline impossible on this next move. I really think 549 and 639 is a real firm target. I think that's a fair target from where we came from for a eventual top of this market. Imagine if we back tested in the bear market next time's $3 or $2.50. Could you imagine if the next bear market for XRP, it only goes from down to $2.50 or $3? This is what I'm craving. A move up to 540 or 639 or 630 or I don't give a 480, whatever. And then a backbreaker of 50 to 60%, we never come below 250 again, or $3. Imagine a bear market where we start at 250 or $3, guys. And then all of a sudden, the next one, we 10x it again. And now we're at 25. Realistically, because we've cleared out for a couple of years after a significant move up from 40 cents or 30 cents, let's just say, because we're at 28 at the bottom. So last bear market, we start at 28.5. We get up to 549 or 639. The next one, we clear down to 250, $3. And then we go up to 25. And then we come back down to... this is how you start over the years. And then before you know it, you're 8 or 9 years. And now all of a sudden XRP's at 50, 60 bucks real consistently. Like, that's how you have to do it. We can't... I don't think we can just go because of the supply 30 cents to $500 right in a row, or 30 cents to 50. I think it's going to take cycle after cycle, but from one cycle it's 30, and then it's 250, and then it's 1250, and then it's 25, and then it's 7. You know, I think it's going to be something like this. Oh, we want to listen, guys. We want to see it. Remember what I said before rate cuts? If we see an overall market dump of 10 to 20% leading into it, we're going to cook. And that's why I'm hoping XDC is showing us the way right now. That the rest of the market's going to do it. Because if we dump going into the 60, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a glorious 17. This tells you everything. If you get a dump going into the 17th and the 16th, oh, it's over. If you're pumping going in, it's not good. I just seen LaGuardia on here from the European, the Fed, whatever the hell they call her, the Fed, whatever LaGuardia is in the Eurozone. She just said quantitative tightening is going as scheduled. Imagine they think they're in quantitative tightening in the Eurozone. Can you imagine what quantitative easing is going to look like if they consider quantitative tightening? Right? She literally came on. I was watching. Well, I don't listen to her, but it's scrolling across on Bloomberg because I have the volume muted because I can't stand listening to their bullshit. But I like to see the stuff scrolling, especially seeing the markets, because like the Dow's up 216, S&P's up 16, Nasdaq's up 30. I got to wait for the Russell 2000 or Russell to come back around. But she actually said that quantitative tightening is going good. If that's quantitative tightening, I'm a fucking leprechaun and I shit out gold bricks. I would love to see what they consider quantitative easing over there. My God. I think she's smoking out of the same pipe as the Fed over here. Did I mention that pipe is the central banks? Jay from Mix, welcome in. Kyle Coopy at Cape Cod. Kyle from Massachusetts in Tom's Army for over 1 year. I love it. Jason Tyler, welcome in. How about those yummy XDC prices? Oh, they're getting yummy. I hope they get yummier. Because if this falls, XDC would have a liquidity drop. I like liquidity drops. I'm hoping that this isn't just a momentary thing. Because if it's a liquidity drop, and we're going for liquidity, that weekly should pour out. And if it does, I mean, we could find ourselves in that 4.7 to 5.2 range. And do you feel it? Do you know how much I could buy at 4.7 to 5.2 compared to 7.8 or 8 or 9 or 10 where it was at? Just be patient and wait for that actual confirmation. Remember yesterday when I said, if you were in here, I know it's over the top, but now your goal is you either wait for it to get to 8.5 and hold that 8.59 or drop down to 7.37 and take a stab, or you have to wait for it to fall out. Well, now you're at a point today where if you wanted to take a stab in this formation, you're at 7.37, much better than 7.85 or 8 cents. However, you still want to make sure that this holds. Like, you want to make sure that you're not just buying in when it's about to go bank, you know, for liquidity. Look how oversold we are in the 3-4 hourly, massively oversold. However, the daily right now is massively undervalued or overvalued as far as overbought. We're well below the 200 day. It looks like a death cross. I think this pattern's going to reset, most likely. It doesn't come under the head though, so I don't think it's going to come under here. I could be wrong, but I do think we've put in kind of a floor with XDC, I hope, right about here. That's why I keep talking about that 5.2 area. Because it would be quite dangerous if we come down any farther, because then it's obvious to me. Can I just show you the obvious here? Let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. Because I want to get rid of this. because we know the over the top. I just want to get rid of this for a sec. So we know these three areas that are of concern. Do you know what my biggest concern is about buying right here? And it's the same with everything else. If you have something, obviously, you're trying to get stronger into alt season. But imagine we have to come all the way back here and back test this initial breakout. And just hear me out. This initial part started in 2021 and it didn't break out until 2024 in December. Now, we've never back tested this. And after an over 3-year consolidation, 3.5 year, I would say it's probably a better than not bet. We may have to back test. So there is a possibility that this comes all the way down to 2.9 cents. So, I don't know. So I'm looking at it from all aspects. I'm looking at the stochastic. I'm looking at the MACD. I'm looking at the volume. I'm looking at the strength of the market. I'm looking at the rate cuts. I'm looking at the news. I'm looking at everything that's piling up. I'm looking at everything around. We are close. We are close. It's just, I don't know if the market legitimately has a... I mean, what XDC did today, it brought us down to that support at 737. So I'm very happy about that. Because I know there are a lot of people asking me yesterday, and I said, at least do me the justice of waiting until it goes to 8.5 or at least hitting it at 737 because it's going to hit it. The apex point, if it didn't break out, isn't until, you know, later this month. So it was going to hit it. It was already in the deck. And I'm glad it did it this way because now it validates what we were looking at here. And yeah, I'm focused on XDC right now because this could be, you're always looking for some kind of either outlier or anomaly. And because XDC runs very much in the family of XLM, XRP, the ISO tokens, it is the main front of the R3 Corda. And if you don't know what that is, please look into it because that is not a small thing. If you want to say it runs the show in some ways, it runs the freaking show in some ways. There's nothing wrong with saying that. Man, I need to look at this in the 4-hourly because there's a reason why I keep targeting that spot. Because we had this resistance, and if we go over the top, yeah, it spread out like that. But there was a shorter resistance. You've seen how I had it lined up, and it just measured right off of it. That was, it kind of gave us a golden ticket here along the way, and it was, I don't remember, I know it was because we can't right there. That's why. I remember now. So I did the one where you come through here and then you come through the bodies because I wanted it to hit the resistance right here, right here, right here. I remember it like it was yesterday now. I wanted this to be resistance because every time it came through, it would consolidate down if it didn't push past. And then it created the top portion above. So I was like the expansion. Now I remember. This actually looks better though. How it was like that. So it made perfect sense. Look how it rounded right there. But yeah, so we're firmly within. That's an engulfing candle to the downside. So you just want to make sure. However, I mean, it's very oversold in the smaller time frames up to the 4-hourly. Just the daily is the complete opposite right now. Let me finish saying hi to everybody. And I wouldn't mind taking a phone call this morning. I'm trying to build a narrative through the audience. I get to at least share the phone call from yesterday. I'll be able to put it in a video today. It took forever for them to post my live from yesterday. It wasn't even available this morning. Let me see if it's finally there. No, the last 2 days, my lives aren't on here for me to do anything with. I can't copy them. I can't save them. So once it becomes available, I will. But it's pretty incredible how none of my lives, I did 2 lives yesterday. None of them are available. So that's if you want to talk about being shadow banned. That's if you're trying to find my stuff. That's why you can't find my stuff. It's a shame, actually. But hey, what are you gonna do? Let's see. Let's see. More buying opportunities, more than outlaws. Wales, Josie Wales, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. David Hoff, welcome in along with Detective Yelrum, D-E-T Yelrum. Dan Marginal. I think I said David Hoff. All the world's stage, Mr. and Mrs. G. Stott. Bearded Viking, thank you all for being in Tom's Army for your second month with the Dusty's House Crypto News. Arichi Farms, Crazy Paul, Joseph Euler, Papa Wheelie, Amanda, thank you for being in Tom's Army for 6+ months along with the Cannabis Podcast with the XRP Predictor. Love it. Thank you all so much. Jason Tyler, welcome in. Florida Attorney, good morning. David Hoff got XDC at 0.73 and used KRAKEN and it went smoothly buying. Thank you for all the help, family. You are welcome. Yeah, the buying isn't bad. It's the selling fees. But I would encourage you, if you're on KRAKEN, to pay the $4.95 a month because you get $10,000 a month with no trading fees. I would also encourage you to buy first and pay the $6 in fees or whatever it's going to be on 5,000, and then just have it ready for the sell. Have those $10,000 not for the buy, but well, I mean you can have it for the buy because we're not looking to sell for a while, so it'll reset. It resets every month. Wales, Josie Wales, good morning. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year at the I Told You So badge once again. Road Less Travel, thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens, and that is my face superimposed on that emoji badge. I don't know what YFI token is, so I have no opinion one way or the other. I don't even think I've heard of it. Maybe I have. Dark 2 Light, good morning. More buying opportunities, beautiful. Yes, and we may get better ones. I don't know. That's our active discussion this morning. Sola Jeffy, 9/11 today. Not surprised exactly. A lot of stuff happening. Yesterday, too, there was a meeting, and it's something that went unnoticed by a lot. So I know all the Charlie Kirk stuff happened and all this other stuff. But there was a meeting in Poland yesterday with 6 countries. The governments and their officials were there having a meeting about a supposed UFO shot down in Poland and talking about this object coming towards Earth. And it's supposedly going to be visible for us sometime in late November, but it's supposed to culminate on December 17th, which I only know, and I find it ironic because that's my birthday. So it's going to be a spicy 42nd birthday, it looks like. Last year, crypto hit an apex and then dumped for a couple weeks. So that was interesting. But yeah, I think the projects are going to be let out. And I don't mean the Detroit projects. I mean, like, they're going to be setting off a blue beam, so to say. So just pay attention to that. That's our fake alien invasion, remember. Something I've been talking about for decades because it's been in the playbook. Anyhow, let's continue. Said too much. David Hoff says, I was in the bank next door at 11 years old on a school field trip. It was crazy scary. Yeah, I was in school. I was in 2001. I graduated in 2002. So I was in 11th grade. And I remember we had it on the TV all day, but then you've seen the narrative and I don't know, I was wise to all of it. Yeah. I don't want to get too much into it. That's a political thing, and then you get people riled up, and then, you know, we're trying to create, you see what's going on. So, Syrian, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Thanks for being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. Thank you so much. B Southern, good evening, or good morning. Let's see. It sure is, Sola Jeffy. It sure is. It sure is. But remember, love can cure all. But not everybody has love in their heart, so you just have to, ooze it. You really do. You have to ooze it. Frankie Fresh, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. Give Janine my love, your significant other as well. Beautiful couple, beautiful couple. Israel, good morning. Cadas, welcome in. Mark Caston, good morning. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Let's see. I think I caught up to everybody. AWL, welcome in. Hope shines bright. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. B. Southtown said XRP Ledger Foundation. In November 2024, the XRPL Foundation, which supports the XRP Ledger ecosystem, was officially incorporated in Paris under French law. Well, I think the reason why, and I've said it a lot, the reason why XRP has 100 billion tokens is because when we do go digital, it's not that everybody's going to have to own XRP. Think about it. It's going to be the liquidity for the banking system to keep it solvent. So no matter what happens, they can artificially move up and down the price of XRP with those 100 billion tokens, and it'll help keep the banking sector upright. I think that's going to be the universal collateral in a digital system. Robert Win Moon, when, are you not alive right now? We haven't mooned? Bought XRP at 34 cents. If this isn't mooning, I don't know what is. You tell me something else you can buy, and every dollar you put in turned into 9. Just be honest. What else could you buy that in 1 year, every dollar you put in turned into 9? This is mooning. This is what mooning looks like. I don't know what everybody else wants, but this is mooning. I know, Robert, I've seen you in here. I can bust your balls. That's why I do. This isn't the first time I've busted your balls. I like to use you as my example. I'm proud of you, too, for 36 cents. I know you've been in the game with me a long time. That's why I can use you. In a good way. I do it often if you're new, I often pick on people that have been around for a while when they comment in a certain way so I can make a point. Because this, to me, is mooning. I want $18 too, Robert, believe me. Oh, I'd love to sit here and say, hey, guys, I'm at 10,000 tokens that we bought for $3,400, or in Robert's case, it would be $3,600, or somebody else's case would be 5,000 or 7,000. It's worth 180,000. People would be like, why doesn't XRP ever move? And then I'd be like, well, God damn it. Where else can I buy $3,500 worth of something that's worth $180,000? Huh? Or right now, where can I buy something for $3,500 it's worth 30 grand? Like, you show me. Yep, top 1% would make 1 million, Robert. You're absolutely right about that at 18. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. See, Frankie, on 88 cents, and we try to compare with 10,000 tokens because that's what we did. But that's 8,800. Where else can you turn 8,800 into 30,000? Certainly not in your savings account, where we're collecting pennies on the, well, not even pennies, fraction of a penny on a dollar. So I think we're doing good. What's not mooning is algo. What's not mooning is IOTA. What's mooning is H-bar from 5 cents. That's mooning. Or 4 cents. That's mooning. It might only be at 23 cents, but it's mooning from where it was at. H-bar is absolutely on the mooning track. It's 6x. V-chain not mooning. XDC speculatively moving. It's up like 100 and something percent. Speculatively moving. XLM kind of mooning. It was at 8 cents, 9 cents. That's kind of mooning. It may not be what XRP is, but you're talking about 400. Look, this is kind of mooning. It kind of mooned. Like, the only people that don't think it mooned are the ones who didn't buy it before November's breakout. It actually went up 643%. That is a moon. You moonshotted. It's still up 359%. To me, that's a moonshot. Now we're looking to expand on it. So, and the other thing is like, I think they perpetrate a lot on us, but I don't think XRP is supposed to be at $100 or I really don't, or $1,000. I think it's meant to have that movement from $10 to $20. It has just enough of a price tag to allure people, but not cheap enough to where main retail is going to get in and waste up the tokens. Because at a certain point, those 100 billion are all going to be in play. Notice how when I started, it was at like 31 billion or whatever, or 28 billion was in circulation. Now it's at 59 billion. It's only been 4.5 years. So in another, so eventually, there's going to be, all ends are going to meet. It's gonna. I firmly believe XRP at some point will get over $10. I really believe it. Was our journey 30 or the 3,500 and the 35,000, and did we do it? Yes, we did. And then some, because it got into the 360s or 370s. But we did our journey. You know, some people got off on the journey. I don't mean whacking the, you know, the tallywhacker. I mean they got off on the fact that they jumped off the ship on 10x. You lost me, Tom. XRP has to be expensive. I never said it wasn't going to go over 10 to 20. I just said that's where I think the desired range is going to be for a while. I think that's where it's guaranteed to hit. To say something with $100 billion is guaranteed to hit $100 is ridiculous. Or $1,000. That would be just unprofessional. I lost you because I'm saying $10 to $20. Okay, I mean, that's your opinion. Why is it not enough? Just in your opinion, why is $10 to $20 not enough? I mean, since I lost you, I can't offend you. Why is it not enough? Based on what? Why is it not enough? So there's 100 million. 100 billion times 15 bucks. Why is that not enough? Do you know how much money that is right there? How is that? Why is that not enough? Do you realize crypto isn't? Can somebody say it in the what that number is in front of me to make sure we're on the same page? Dollars, thousands, millions, billions, trillions. So at 15, there's a $1.5 trillion market cap at just $15. If there's 100 billion. There's nothing that I've said about XRP that hasn't followed in 4.5 years. So if you think I'm just making up numbers, I would love to tell you it's going to go higher, but let's face it. The total 3 market cap's 1.1 trillion. So when you take out Bitcoin and Ethereum, you're telling me XRP is going to be the entire market cap of all of crypto plus $400 billion. And the rest of them are just going to piss it all away now. Like, where is that market cap coming from? That's it. That's all I want to know. And if you're going to say we're going to get an injection of capital, where's it coming from at that level? You know what they're starting to want to do? They want to make the Dow, NASDAQ, Russell, all of it. They want to make it all a 24/7 trading, 365, just like crypto. Do you know what that does for liquidity in crypto? A certain segment pulls out of crypto right away because they didn't want to be in crypto at all, and they're just doing it for the 24/7, 7-day-a-week, 365 market. If they bring that to the stock market, you're losing some liquidity. All these ETFs take money out of crypto and the crypto space. That's the untold truth. That's why a lot of these assets, right when the ETF is announced and they actually start putting money into it, the stock or the crypto itself drops 50 or 60%. Ethereum did it. Bitcoin did it. I would not be surprised if XRP does it on announcement. And then they always right the ship and go much higher. But you always have that initial drop. Morgan Stanley predicts XRP to take 1 trillion of Swift's market. I don't believe a damn thing Morgan Stanley says. But I mean, hey, everybody just thinks XRP Ripple is taking all of Swift's business. I got news for you. They're not. Didn't Swift just partner? They have the Swift GPI. Didn't they just partner with like HBAR or somebody, Swift, for a portion of their movement? So they partnered with one of our main ISO tokens to help with these transactions. I know somebody in my audience will know. Oh, no mercy. If they burn the supply, I wouldn't even own XRP. Now you guys are playing the wrong. Now you guys are playing devil's advocate. If they burn the supply, doesn't it break the argument that they need the 100 billion tokens for the banking and the institutions? Oh, Swift is more solid than many think. Winford. Okay, MYX. Nobody says you can't have moves. We'll just look at something real quick. I just want to look at something. So it got up to, what is it, 2 weeks later. And I could point up a million different tokens that do this rather quickly and then they just dump out. And then let's just see one other thing. The maximum supply is 1 billion. I mean, come on. You're talking about something with 1/100th of the supply. Right now, even if it was full, you're talking about there's 133.75 million tokens, my friend. Of course it can move like that. But don't be surprised when you find it back under where it started. Is all I'm saying. Like, I mean, so if you think XRP is going to do the exact same, I mean, look at this. Tom, you have to know that stuff that you talked about. I joined your group. That's why I didn't renew. I mean, you've already spoken your piece, my friend. I know what I'm talking about. If you don't want to acknowledge it, that's exactly what you just did. You gave a backhanded kick in the nuts right there. I used to be part of your paid $9.99 to support what you're doing, but I'm not anymore because you don't know what you're talking about. Hey, I've said the same thing for 4.5 years, and it's followed exactly what I've said. So, you know, if you like what I do and because my prediction or because my thought process is a little different and now you're not supporting what I do, that's an indication of your own self. Honestly, I don't even know why you're here with that process. Honestly, I don't know why I've given so much time. If I think just like that, maybe I shouldn't come on tomorrow because of the people that, I mean, come on. Is that where we're going right now? The kick to the stones? I get it. Let's get back to the charts. That kind of backhanded, you know. Hey, he's on here for free giving his whole soul out with these charts. But hey, I disagree with this, so let me pull my support after a month. I got what I needed out of him. Use and kick him to the side. It's all good. I get it. Let's see. XRP. We did have that liquidity wick down. But unless we get some volume, I mean, I don't see this just going straight up. I still think that we need to get a volume spike. We did sell out very quickly here, so there's obviously the opportunity at the 3-hourly mark, the 4-hourly mark, where we've dumped down rather hard in a rather short amount of time, especially in some of the smaller time frames. And we want to see now if we get this golden cross area, if it's actually going to play out. I mean, we're in the golden cross in the 20 through the 200, but the 50 isn't even close yet. So we'll see how this reacts. We'll see if we have an outlier from XDC, or, I mean, if the XDC hits that liquidity dump and bounces off that support structure, which will be interesting if it does hold. It will be very interesting. No. It doesn't. It doesn't piss me off, Michael. It's an indictment on somebody deeper inside. So no, I just know where to. It's almost a targeted focus. You know, I try to target on certain names, and that was a name that I used to respond to, and I would see a response. But I mean, that kind of comment will rub you the wrong way. It's like saying, "Hey, I like to watch this sports team, but I want this guy to throw it that way, and he's throwing it to the other side of the field, and I think it should go to that side of the field, so I'm just gonna not be a fan anymore." It's a weird. I don't know. Let's see. What else do we have? I'm almost done this one. I mean, we're already at 50 minutes, so we've already done our stuff. What else can I say? This could be a reversal candle. I mean, is this a doji candle in the 4-hourly? I mean, you would think it would come back down here either way. and backtest 112.7. We came up to this resistance area. We're overbought in the 4-hourly for Bitcoin. I mean, we could see a little bit of a reversal back down here. If we get a continue, I mean, that 2-hourly kind of speaks, or the 3-hourly is similar. If we can get over 114.778, we should be okay. I mean, I love listening to Sagittarius. Plain and simple, philosopher archetype, mainly unbiased, crypto to volatile to make definitive calls. Hey, that's nice. I like it. I like it. No, I get that a lot in life, what you said, Alex. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 years with the XRP Diamond Hands badge. You said, good morning, Tom. Some people just don't understand what you are, and I understand because they probably haven't met someone like you before. I get that. That's happened to me since I was a kid. I get it. Hell, if I talked to somebody like me, I'd be like, are you out of your mind if I didn't understand? That's what happened. I talked to somebody like me when I was very, very young. And it involved somebody like me, you know, even my grandpa opening my eyes. I understood that there was a difference between what I was being taught and the truth. And then, I mean, listen, when it comes to XRP, I get people telling me about the multiplier that's going to end up making it worth. I mean, let's see. Tom, have you watched Russian guy from Putin team who say how USA is planning to pay debt with crypto $1 trillion? I mean, I've heard that side of it. I've also heard that the USA is gonna pay the debt by revaluing gold, which they can do, which is in the Constitution, that the president, any sitting president, can revalue gold just like Theodore Roosevelt did and some others. So yeah, I've heard a couple different conspiracies. You know, and some people are like, Tom would be the happiest person if we go on the gold standard. No, I wouldn't. I would rather the money be on a gold standard, but if you are, it's on control. So it's no different than any other control. I would just rather be money valued in gold, not on a standard, not a unit of debt that can be redeemable by gold. I just want it to be run with real money. But no, I like, listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm just telling you what I believe. Like, that's all I can do. People started watching me, and the reason you follow me is to watch my path. You know, that's why you're watching XRP Future Millionaire. I can only tell you what I believe. I told you, I get people that unfollow, unsubscribe, unfriend, start bashing. By all means necessary, but I've never switched what I do. I've always told the truth every single day. I've never changed what I've said over 4. So I don't even know why that person even subscribed for a month to begin with to pay anyhow. My opinion didn't change. So, you know, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's okay. It's okay. Things happen. Ethereum had a few good moments here where it pushed out. But that seems to be having trouble in this area. I mean, it had a nice clear down to that uptrend, though. That was nice to see. It's just, it's so overbought right now. In the smaller time frames again. Came all the way down to that 4,328 uptrend. So we have a lot to watch today. Just consider everything I've said. You know, positivity over negativity. Always going to have the haters. You're always going to have the lovers. If you don't have the fans, along with the naysayers, you're not really... But, you know, I don't want to create a divide. I want to create a... Based on what we see. I mean, I don't know. T's doing good. I mean, he had a little rough day yesterday in the early morning, but he muscled through it and he ended up having a good day. He wanted to go back this morning. He was really excited about getting to school this morning. So, for being in a full day and being special needs and autistic and being in a regular class with an IEP help, he's exceeding expectations big time. And especially because he's got a feeding tube, so he's got to have somebody at school, because he can still eat by mouth, but for his main nutrition and stuff, he gets fed 3 times a day, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, through his G tube in his stomach. But he lets them do it at school, and that's been going good. So I mean, I'm blessed. We're blessed. Let's see. I don't disagree with you, go to the gym, bro, but I respond to comments. So think about what you just told me, and if you don't like what I have to say and it doesn't resonate, then dismiss it, right? So if you didn't want me to continue down that road, the best thing to do is just let that part of the conversation die and move on. Like I already said, I already respected you. I still do. There's certain ways to say something and there's certain ways to not. And obviously what I see, you don't see. And that's okay. We're allowed to have different opinions. That's is what it is. Not knowing who Swift is partnered with is something we want to know. I didn't say I don't know. I was asking the audience. Swift is partnered with many different avenues. Many different avenues. I've talked about all this for years. So, I asked you guys a point-blank question and nobody responded. But anyhow, that's it, everybody. I've done what I can do this morning. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Make sure to share this on social media. I'd love to see you guys in the Telegram. I would love to see your opinions in the comments, good or bad. And I would love to know what everybody thinks about the up and down. If you think it's going to follow what XDC did, or do you think we're going to have a parabolic spike? Do you think we're going to drop before the rate cuts? Or do you think we're going to have a rise up into the rate cuts? So, hey, I expect you to be back. Who said Chainlink? Frankie Fresh? Now we're on the right track. Now we're on the right track. I kind of want to see, the only reason I'm dragging this out is I want to see if Ethereum ends up breaking and holding below 4,400. That's the only reason, in Bitcoin at 114. It's like Bitcoin at 114, Ethereum at 4,400, and XRP at $3 seems to be the exact same spot. So for your question, go to the gym, bro. Swift partnered with Chainlink. So I do know who it is. I asked the audience a point-blank question. So, and there's a reason that they partnered with them. How? Let's pull it up. So, Swift partners with Chainlink. And is Chainlink a USA company? I'm just asking you guys, is Chainlink a USA company? And there's a reason I'm asking you that. There should be a newer one. Oh man, I wish it would just give us the description. Did Chainlink partner. I'll just do it in AI so I can pull all this. So Swift, the international bank messaging standard for 11,500 plus banks, is working with Chainlink to enable financial institutions to connect to any existing public-private chain using Chainlink and their existing Swift infrastructure and messaging standards. So you don't have to find it online. Go to the gym, bro. I did it for you. So, conducted by Chainlink, the infrastructure, Euroclear and Swift, Franklin Templeton and Wellington Management, banks and custodians, blockchains. But Chainlink is going to help them. So, Chainlink, USA company, just like XRP. Check, check. Chainlink helping Swift connect to financial institutions, public or private chain. Check, check. So I don't see the $1 trillion just leaving to go to the XRP ledger when they're partnered with Chainlink. So, and they're USA. So maybe you should think twice before you chastise me and understand I try to make the audience participate. Be blessed. Be blessed. Look deeper.